Hello and welcome to the Hugrazi special celebration for 1,000 subscribers. It's a super late video, but that's okay. We're here now.
I'm sorry, I'm just improvising this whole thing. Hi, obviously I said it, I'm Hugrazi, and I just thought I'd make a video for 1,000 subscribers where I outline what I'm going to be doing with this channel for the next little bit. I'm gonna split this up into 3 categories. The first category being what I'm going to be doing for the next 1 to 3 months. The second category being what I'm going to be doing for the next 1 to 3 years. And the third category that, nobody's going to really care about is what I'm going to be doing for the next 20 years. And, that one's more personal. But anyway, starting with category 1. Well, maybe I should just, do like a basic explanation of the channel for those who don't watch me. I'm a channel that talks about video games because I like video games a lot. So far, most of the games I've talked about on my channel are Nintendo games, and it's not necessarily because this is a Nintendo-centric channel. It's just because a lot of Nintendo games have been interesting me lately, so I'm talking about them. Basically, I talk about games that interest me. I like to get into the game design side of things sometimes. I get into the marketing side. And overall, I guess I'm just talking about games, I suppose. There's nothing really else to explain. So, the next 1 to 3 months, what I'm going to be doing. Well, there's 2 core things that I wanted to start doing with this channel. The first is a monthly kind of thing. I don't want to spoil it. It's kind of hard. It's gonna have to do with game design, and it may require the participation of others, so it may or may not work, but I'm going to start that up pretty soon. So, look forward to that unknown thing, I guess. The second thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start an episodic series on a particular kind of game, or a particular game that I've wanted to talk about for a while now. So that's something I'm going to do on the side of my regular content, which will just be, sporadic bullshit like it's always been. But yeah, that's something I'm going to do. It's a game that I care about a lot, and I think that there's a lot of things that I can really get into with this game, which is why I'm going to be making a very long episodic series. So look out for yet again another thing that I'm not announcing yet. I'm just giving you this vague explanation, like what's the point of this video. Now, the second category, the next 1 to 3 years. So if you've been hanging around this channel for any amount of time, you probably noticed a common trend. Now, I've only played Radiant Dawn, dabbled in Awakening. The only Zelda game I've ever played is Twilight Princess. I've only played a few hours of Super Metroid and Prime. So yeah, I'm just gonna be honest and tell you my situation. So basically, I'm a 20-year-old guy. I still live at my parents' house because I have student debts and I can't afford to leave at the moment. I plan to be moving out by the end of this year, but until then, I'm gonna be here. And here is pretty cool. I appreciate my parents, I'm fine, everything's cool, but the one problem is that they fucking hate games. They've always hated games, and one of their kind of rules is that, I don't really get to play video games in this household. Legitimately, the only games I've played for the past 3 years have been outside of my house at a friend's house or in secrecy. So that's basically why I haven't been playing a lot of these games. So if you ask me, oh man, you should play this game, why haven't you played this game, you scrub? It's not because I'm actively avoiding it or because I'm not interested in it. It's because I legitimately just cannot play it. So it's this ironic, this guy who has a gaming channel who cannot fucking play games. Nice. I am spatially aware of legitimately almost every single game that's coming out, but I just can't play them. But when I move out next year, I'm going to have a lot more time to play games. But at the same time, I'm gonna lose a lot of time to make videos on games because now I'm paying a lot more for rent. So basically, here's my plan if this channel ever takes off, or I get a bunch of people coming to watch and shit. I'm going to start a Patreon page at some point. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it's gonna happen at some point. I really like the idea of crowdfunding, and if this channel ever gets to that point where I could be looking to take this more seriously, then I think that's the route I'm gonna take. You may or may not have noticed that I do not run ads on this channel. I mean, it really isn't that big of a deal at this point, but I think it's something I want to continue doing. Like, if there's ever a time where I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, if I monetize my videos and I do Patreon, then I can do this for a living, but if not, then I can't, then yeah, then I'll monetize for a bit, and that's when I'll do it. But I don't like ads. I really don't. I like the idea, like I said, I like the idea of crowdfunding a lot more. So if there's ever the time where I could do this, like this is way down the line, by the way, like this isn't like next month shit, like this is like 3 years down the line. If there's ever a time where it looks like I could take this more seriously and do this as a profession, I'm just not gonna monetize my videos. Like if there's ever a time where I could do this just based on crowdfunding, then no ads. Like ever. Like ever. Like if there's ever a day where I'm sitting at like 700,000 subscribers and you see ads on my videos, you have the full rights to just call me a jackass, because, you know, I went back on what I said, and that's, you know, that's lame. So yeah, that's the next few years. Now on to the thing that nobody's gonna really care about, but I'm going to be talking about the next 20 years of my life. Not like literally, just like, I'm not gonna be talking about all of it, just my goals in a general sense. Now let me just set up the scene real quick. Currently, I am a pretty talentless person. I have, you know, maybe a little bit of video editing skills, barely any. This is the extent of my artistic prowess. I don't know shit all about music. I can't program for shit. I know the very basics of 3D modeling. I know basically nothing about animation. I have a little bit of Photoshop skills, and that's about it. Like I don't have anything. I can't put shit all on my resume right now. I got nothing. That being said, I'm gonna make a fire ass game. Boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna make a fire game one day. And I know that sounds really immature, and I know 1,000 billion gajillion people have already said it, but it's happening. I really like games. Like, I really like games. Like, I think the ironic part about my parents not liking games and not letting me play games as a teenager up until now, thinking that it would detach me from video games, ironically, it's attached me more than ever, because when I was growing up, because I couldn't play these video games, literally all I did was I read about video games, and I watched video games, and I got into analyzing video games, and I spent a lot of years not knowing what that was. Like, I wasn't sure if it was just like a video game addiction, or if I was addicted to just playing video games like my parents would say, and it was just a horrible thing. But I think the past year I've really come to terms with the fact that I think I really do have a passion for games. And of course, at the moment, I don't have any skills to help me along in that sense, but that's okay, because, you know, everybody's got to start at some point. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm even talking about this in this video. I just want to show people that it's not too late to just start. Like, it really isn't. Like, I know I'm still young and I might not know shit about the world, but that's the conclusion that I've come to so far. I used to think back when I was in high school, I used to think about, oh, maybe I should get into game design. And for me, it was too late at that point. Like, my teenager brain was like, you know what, I already see all these other guys who are already in the programming. They're already artists and they know how to do things already that I don't. And it's just too late, I can't do it, I can't catch up. And that mindset just continued, and then I feel like a lot of people get in that trap, and then like we just don't do anything. We just stop and we're like, yeah, no, too much. We just, you know, I want to do it, but it's too far away, I don't have the time, etc, etc. But now I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I'm 20 years old, and like I said, this is the next 20 years. I have lots of years in my life, and this is something I want to do. So I'm gonna struggle. The first few games that I make are gonna be super shit in a few years when I go to actually start trying to make these things, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make some fire stuff. I don't even know if it's gonna be a traditional video game. All I know is that I'm gonna make some fire ass shit. Like, I have no skills right now. Like, none. But mark my words. Mark my words, boy. And you might be like, oh man, this guy's just talking out of his ass right now. And you're right, I am. But that's okay, because the second reason why I'm making this portion of the video is because I want this to be a thing where I can look back and say, oh man, I did it. And people can look back and say, oh man, that guy was shit. He didn't even know how to do anything. Look at his videos, they were garbage. And look what he's doing now in 2030, whatever the time period is that I'm making this hot fire that I supposedly supposed to make. So yeah, that's basically my plan so far. Stretched out, and yeah, 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, I appreciate it. I am surprised that there are that many people that actually have me in their subscription box, that they might actually check out a video that I make every so often. I do see your comments, I really appreciate them. I've stalked like most of your guys' channels. I know everybody, like I literally know everybody that's commented on my videos now. But yeah, that's thank you. I guess is what I'm saying.